I am not a doctor, nor am I a representative of the UFC, obviously. But it pisses me off when guys fail a test, then they announce that they failed, and the next day they announce that they pass. This is a multi-million-dollar business. Why are there reports coming out that someone fails when they don't? If it was actually below the threshold, they wouldn't have said he failed in the first place. Okay, make sure you watch this to the end because I recorded this yesterday and then I wake up this morning and then there's breaking news. So it was edited yesterday and then today it's added on. So it's going to be a big thing. It's got 2 bits of information and I'm furious over this. Is freaking stupid. Okay, get ready. It's Greg and I'm here with the shocking, as in Azito shocking news that Nate Diaz failed a UFC drug test for a performance-enhancing drug known as a SARM. SARM is a selective androgen receptor modulator, so it's kind of like a steroid, but it is not. But it does the same thing. It builds muscle, helps recovery, and so on. Now, I should remind you, I'm not a doctor, nor do I work for the UFC's drug testing or any of that kind of stuff, but I do know a little bit about this stuff, so I'm going to continue. So, he says he didn't cheat, he's ticked off, he's refusing to fight November 2nd. He's refusing, he's saying, until these guys fix this problem, because I didn't cheat, I'm not a cheater, I refuse to fight. So as of right now, he's not even banned. How do you not ban him? He failed. So just so if you don't know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it got in your system. If you fail, you fail. Because guess what? If you're the other guy fighting against him and you know that he has an unfair advantage over you, are you really going to want to fight him and lose? No. Does it matter? Maybe his coach spiked his drinks. Maybe somebody else planted it. Maybe his supplements were tainted. Maybe. Probably not. What's one of his defenses? I'm vegan, I don't even eat meat. What does not eating meat have to do with taking a SARM? You think if you don't eat meat, you're magical, you're somehow super special, you don't eat meat, so you're God's gift to the earth because you don't eat meat? He's smoking weed at weigh-ins, he's smoking joints all the time. It's not like he's Mr. Clean Cut, never takes anything, doesn't do any drugs of any kind. I mean, come on. Everyone's seen him smoking up. Now, what do I think? Do I think he cheated? Yes. What did he have? We don't know. It was a SARM. We don't know if it's Osterine, Rad140, LGD. It's one of those SARMs in a trace amount. Does that matter? No. That stuff doesn't stay in your system like crazy. It's got, the half-life isn't like few seconds, but it's going to be like, say you took it and a week later, you're going to have trace amounts left. And I know these guys know that they're getting tested, so it's kind of stupid to use it. But do you think it's the same time? I mean, we saw John Jones. We see every single month there's somebody else that's failing for something. It's crazy. It happens all the time. So he's demanding that the USDA fixes it. As in fixes it and throws his tested sample in the trash and covers it up and says, no, we made it up, you didn't really fail. So this is what's really gonna happen. You pee in a cup. They have to take some of it in one bottle, sample A, and then they take the rest and put it in sample B. And so they do 2 tests. They're gonna test sample A. If you say, no, I didn't cheat, they probably spiked it. The drug tester hates me. Then they will take sample B and see if that fails. And if it fails, then what are you going to say? You took it at some point. Does it really matter if he knowingly took it or not? No, it doesn't really matter. In terms of if you're cheating for the event, it doesn't matter. Because if you're pretending to take steroids or you're doing it in secret or your coach is or somebody is, it doesn't mean it's not helping you. It's all about the advantage. However, if you're not knowingly cheating, then you shouldn't be banned for years, okay? Like it's not, say it's his coach or his friend that's spiking his drinks or whatever to give him that advantage. Well, it's not really fair to ban him for several years because of that. But for this event, he should be banned. Sorry, he should be banned. And I know it's like, there's so much money in the UFC and so many people want to go to this fight. They have such hard times when these people fail because they're like, we don't want you to fail. We don't want you out. So they pretty much do anything to try to get them to pass. So what's going to happen? We don't really know. But he says, I refuse to fight. I'm not a cheater. I'm not one of those people. Yet you just are. Somebody else would have had the same thing happen. He would have been the first one to be like, yeah, the cheater, don't let him fight. Then it happens to him and it's like, no, I didn't do it. So he says, I'm not going to play their game and try to hide it or keep quiet like they suggested. I'm not going to have my name tainted as a cheater like these other mother effers who keep quiet until after the fight so they can get paid. Effing cheaters. I don't give a F about some money over my dignity and my legacy. I'm not playing along with this bull. Sorry, you're the one who failed. Now you know what it's like to fail a drug test. It sucks. Guess what? It sucks. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Unfortunately, it happened. There's nothing that can be done. After the next test comes around and they find out if he's cheated on both samples, they're going to have to decide, look, is he allowed to fight or not? And if he does, and if I'm the opposition, I would complain so much. Battery died, and I'm back in stock here. Okay. There was another person that failed a drug test last night. It's like everybody's failed. There was a basketball player that failed for diuretics, and diuretics just make you lose water weight. So it's like, why would you even take it? It makes no sense. It's not even giving him an advantage, but it's not legal. Everything happens. TJ Dillashaw, he failed. Why? He's taking cheat substances. Everyone thought he was in the first place, but they all say no, and then it comes out. Happens to baseball players all the time. Every single sport this happens, and everyone always denies it. No one ever says, yeah, I did it, because then no one believes them. But if they say, no, I didn't do it, well, they have half their supporters on their side and half against them. I don't know. Maybe the UFC should just stop testing and just be like, who cares? I'd rather see them not even test. Just be like, let them have their whatever. Because there's so many cheaters involved and it ruins the sport, because if you're cheating and then the fight can't happen, and if you paid a lot of money to go watch that fight, you're going to be so upset when the fight doesn't happen, and it's just a non-stop nightmare. All right, so now he passed the test. He failed for LGD 4033. That is a strong SARM. Some studies say that even 1 milligram will work. No, that's not enough. Maybe in some like 80-year-old. When I took it, I was taking 10 and 20 milligrams a day, okay? So they said it was contaminated in a vegan plant vitamin thing. LGD is expensive. You don't contaminate it in some vegan supplement. What is that? Trying to trick people that take vegan supplements that they actually work? Put a little bit of, sprinkle some LGD in there, and then they take it and it works, and then they think it's better than the meat diet. It's baloney. So he failed a test, then they said it's not enough to fail a test. That's bullshit. That is complete lies. Lies. UFC lies. Do you know why? Because when they make you fail a test right away, they look at the minimum amount that's required to fail. Okay? So if you had some kind of trace element, they would say, hi, you passed. The test would come back, you passed. It wouldn't come back, you failed with a trace amount, and then they go and retest it and look to see if you actually failed. They would say you passed. But because it's the UFC and there's so many millions of dollars, they just randomly decide, no, it's okay, you pass. It is garbage, okay? You can't trust anything that's happening anymore. The Olympics, you can trust that. If he had went to the Olympics and had trace amounts and it would have been below the threshold, as in below, they would have said he passed. There would be no story saying that he'd failed in the first place. If it was above the threshold, they would have said you failed. They wouldn't have said threshold this. They would have said failed. LGD failed. Okay? So that's the bottom line. That's what literally happened. And as far as this plant and vegan stuff, I've recorded a video on that. It's going to be up soon. But I even have a client that went vegan. And then before and after tested his testosterone levels, SHBG, all that good stuff. Guess what? His test levels went down on that diet. He got less healthy on the vegan diet. His SHBG was so high that his free test was so low. The doctor said, well, a lot of people that switch from meat-based diets to plant actually have this happen. That's from a doctor's mouth, okay? Not me. I am not a doctor. Nor am I a representative of the UFC, obviously. But it pisses me off when guys fail a test, then they announce that they failed, and the next day they announce that they pass. This is a multi-million-dollar business. Why are there reports coming out that someone fails when they don't? If it was actually below the threshold, they wouldn't have said he failed in the first place. It is redonkulous. It makes no sense. I'm sure you're going to agree. Come on, right, guys? This is just garbage. Contaminated in a vitamin. So is that vitamin been reported? Do we know what the name of that multivitamin is? That better be pulled off the shelves. Imagine Grandma Josephine saying her vegan capsules getting LGD in her system in trace amounts. Well, trace amounts in the scientific literature has shown to, in fact, work. Okay? Especially for elderly people. Not like bodybuilding, like, oh yeah, you know, like for guys like us. But for a great grandma, the ones that are actually using these vitamins, vegan vitamins, come on, people. Anyway, that's enough of this. You want to see other failed, drug test fails? There's one here, another drug test fail, one right there. Bloop those things up and have a look. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Me and Ali have a cat show to go to, Baby Nakey, and I'm so worked up. I'm pissed. This is insane. And it's not just this, it's another stupid client that I have, that had. Anyway, I am out.